Buckle up, Buttercup, because Sleepy Joe just made the worst political blunder in modern history. The commander-in-chief cares more about pandering to his base for the 2024 election than supporting our greatest ally. And he was dumb enough to say it out loud. Let's get into it. Welcome back to the channel. So, well. It looks like Beijing Biden has done it again. This time he threw Israel under the bus just to make the squad happy. I'm sure you all saw or heard about the Axios report about Biden begging Netanyahu to scale back operations against Hamas, right? Old Joe spent nearly half his call with the Israeli prime minister whining about civilian casualties and complaining that fighting terrorists makes him look bad with progressive voters. Give me a break. Picture this. Joe Biden seemingly nonchalant about Israel's face-off with Hamas, all because he's eyeing that re-election prize. Can you believe it? Biden nudged Netanyahu to dial down the Gaza conflict, worried about losing young voters. Now, talk about election year jitters. Biden told the Israeli prime minister, who was fighting an existential threat to his people, that he wants the war to end before November. Can you believe this? Here's the thing. Traditionally, whenever Arab terrorists attack Israel unprovoked, U.S. presidents have stepped in to tell Israel to tone it down a bit, because it always turns out that their retaliation is a lot worse than what the Arabs did, because they're pretty good at fighting to save their lives. But Biden was missing in action as this conflict started. He remained silent, caught in a tug of war between supporting Israel and not upsetting the Palestinians, whose best qualities are that they can form a mob protest quicker than lightning, and they can spin what's really going on in the Middle East to make it appear that the Hamas terrorists were simply going door to door trying to sell Girl Scout cookies. Since when does the leader of the free world put his own political gain above an ally's national security? And no, libtards, Trump never did that. If Obama had pulled this, the media would have roasted him alive, and you know it. And rightfully so. If Trump did it, they'd be calling for impeachment again. He'd have his third impeachment. But of course, they give Gropey Joe a pass. So the whole thing is just pathetic. Israel is fighting for its very survival against an enemy sworn to destroy it. Hamas starts firing thousands of rockets at Israeli civilians. What's Israel supposed to do? Send them a fruit basket? No reasonable person expects them to just sit back and take it. And up until a few months ago, the U.S. always backed Israel's right to self-defense. That's what this is, guys, a right to self-defense. Yes, attacking Hamas terrorists in a war in Gaza is a right to self-defense. But now the polls show that the Democrat base is drifting away from Israel. Biden throws Netanyahu under the bus. It's the literal definition of disgraceful. FDR didn't tell Churchill to lay off the Nazis because it might hurt his poll numbers, for Christ's sake. Truman didn't beg MacArthur to play nice with the commies. But Biden sells out an ally to appease his puppet masters in D.C. A Biden advisor spilled the beans to Axios. The White House is fretting about losing young voters, many of whom are not fans of Biden's Gaza war policy. It's not Biden's Gaza war policy. And here's a suspenseful twist. The White House insider claims Biden can't let the conflict and its mounting death toll hog the news cycle as the election looms. The White House and Israel's prime minister's office, of course, are zipped up tight. No comments. The man has no shame. He claims to care about human rights, then tries to stop Israel from neutralizing terrorists. He acts so holier than thou about democracy, then subverts it for personal gain. Guys, this is the president who is trying to lock up his opposition for the 2024 election. Honestly, it'd almost be funny if it wasn't so dangerous. Who knows what else Beijing Biden would sacrifice if he thought it'd help him politically? Taiwan's independence, Ukraine's sovereignty. At this point, nothing is off the table with this guy. He makes Neville Chamberlain look like Churchill. All right, subscribe to our channel if you haven't already, and share our videos with like-minded friends who want to stay informed with what's really going on. Thanks for watching this video. I'll see you in the next one.